Good afternoon, Mr. Green. I'm
Hi.
Jeanelle, and I will be doing your interview.
Hi, Jeanelle. How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. So, I've heard you recently got your master's degree.
That's correct. That's correct.
So, what can you tell me a little bit more other than just your master's degree?
Well, it's actually my master's degree for administration. I went to get this master's degree so that I could be qualified to become a school principal.
Wow. That is amazing to find out, actually. So, how long have you been at John Ehret?
Actually, this is just my third year at John Ehret.
Wow.
Just my third year here.
That is nice.
Yes.
That's surprised a little bit.
It's my this is my 24th year teaching, but it's my third year here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, still, nice to meet you.
Yes.
Was it a big achievement reaching the goal of a master's degree? And how do you feel about it?
Oh, I feel pretty amazing because I graduated over 20 years ago with my undergrad, and I always knew that I wanted to go back to get my master's degree. But when I first started teaching, I also started coaching, and because I was coaching, it took away so much of my time that I wasn't, able to commit to going back to grad school. And then I eventually got married, started having children, so life just kind of got in the way. So I finally got a chance by moving back home. This is my original home. Moved back to Louisiana, and since I've been home, I'm not coaching anymore. So I've had time to focus on going back to school. So since I've been back, I've been in school since I've been back for the last 2 years.
Okay. You brought up coaching. Do you mind sharing what you coached?
Actually, I coached football, coached basketball, coached track.
Oh.
Coached all
three great sports.
That's right.
What would you say some of your greatest strengths are?
Some of my greatest strengths as a leader, I would say my greatest strength would be encouragement. That would be something that I'm natural at, as far as encouraging young people, making them feel good and making them feel confident in themselves and making them feel like somebody believes in them. That would be my strength.
That is an amazing talent to have. It is. Since you talked about your strengths, can you share more about your weaknesses?
Creativity. That's funny because we were just talking about this in class today, and we were talking about what kind of skills a teacher should have, and the students were sharing with me, and one of the students said creativity, and I was able to tell them that creativity would not be one of my strengths, and just coming up with just the best ideas. So that's why teamwork comes in. I'm able to partner with other people that are creative. For instance, my wife is very creative, and when it comes to my bulletin boards at the beginning of the year, I need her to come to the school,
which is
come up with some creative,
which is awesome.
Ideas. Yeah.
Have you always wanted to be a teacher, or was there something you wanted to do?
Yes, I could say ever since high school, I knew I wanted to be a history teacher. I knew that. I was influenced by my high school history teachers, and I knew I wanted to be a history teacher. Yes.
So, what was history? What drove you towards going for your master's degree, or?
Actually, yes. At first, that's what I thought I wanted my master's in. Was in history, and maybe the fact that it took me a while to go back, it kind of helped me to realize leadership is what I needed to be in instead of just history. So I'm glad I waited a while long enough to see that I had strengths in leadership to decide, okay, I'm gonna go back for leadership and go back for administration.
Do you have any? Forgive me, I forgot the word for a moment. Do you have any advice you would like to share with your peers or your students or anyone like that?
My advice that I could give, especially for school leaders and teachers, would be just to take time to develop relationships with students, develop relationships with coworkers. I believe relationships and partnerships and collaboration is so important. I believe everybody is able to help everybody. I believe everybody has insight, no matter who you are. There's no big eyes and little U's. I believe we could all work together and help each other out.
That is an amazing goal and idea and advice. I would love that advice.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this is our last question, but do you have any advice for students going into college?
Oh, wow. Yes. My advice for students going into college, let me think, would be to know first of all, understand the importance of time management. First of all, time management, because when you get to college, you may have a lot more free time, and then your time may not be as structured as it was in high school. In high school,
Right.
you don't really have to worry about your schedule. It's done,
It's
for,
already done
you,
for you.
everything. So when you get to college, of course, you're on your own. So you have to kind of, be able to manage your time. And my advice would be, I guess, to use that time to manage it, because a lot of times, use it wisely, because I can remember even when I was in college, a lot of students that had that free time and they just wanted to kind of hang out during that time, and then before you know it, now something's due and it's 10 o'clock at night. Oh, I got to study for this test.
Cram right
so
before.
You got to cram, exactly. So time management would probably be my biggest bit of advice. Yeah.
Funny enough, because that's where I have my hardest at.
I understand.
It was a pleasure interviewing you, Mr. Green.
Very
Thank
nice
you.
being interviewed by you, Jeanelle.
Thank you.
Yes.